Telemedicine was the tip of the iceberg, if you will, for changing the healthcare experience from a provider-centric experience to a consumer-centric experience. Apple Health has come and gone 3 times. Google Health has come and gone twice. Microsoft Health has come and gone twice, although the second one you haven't heard about. Verizon came and went. These are smart people. Why did they fail in healthcare? What about Amazon? Smart people, decent resources. Do they have a chance? I think they do. Why? What's different about Amazon that Apple, Google, Microsoft, Verizon didn't have? They have figured out distribution. Amazon knows how to get stuff to people. And that has our industry really scared. CVS Caremark is paying a premium for Aetna's distribution to stay alive in case Amazon is successful. So macro trend number 2, fee-for-service becomes fee-for-value. So raise your hand if you are involved with an entity that is even smacking of fee-for-value, risk-based contracting, call it whatever you want. Come on, high and proud. Look around. More than 50% of the people in this room are dealing with fee-for-value or value-based contracting or value-based reimbursement today. Either you're writing checks or you're receiving checks, but you are dealing with fee-for-value today. So let's talk for 1 second about the business model of healthcare. Does it make sense? MBAs, answer that one. Make sense? Makes no sense at all. Why do I say that, right? So the person who is determining what needs to be done is paid every time they recommend something else. The person receiving the value of the service might have a copay, but they really don't pay for the service, but they get the value. And then the entity that actually pays for the service really doesn't even have a seat at the table. There are a number of providers in organizations that all of us are familiar with who have mastered the ability to generate revenue. So after a few decades of incentivizing that kind of behavior, right, because docs are people, right, you go where the money is, we're now going to shift to fee for value. That means you're going to get paid based on the total cost of care, or really the quality of care and outcomes, of the population you serve. Good behavior, a good cardiac program, cardiac surgery program in your hospital, that made you a bucket of money a decade or 2 or 3 ago, may not work in the fee-for-value realm. There needs to be a bit of a shift in how we provide care. The person who receives the value needs to have a little bit of skin in the game. The entity that's paying for the value needs to have a little bit less risk, or at least a seat at the table. And those that are recommending the care that folks get have to really have an eye on what's the most efficient, effective, quality care, not the most care. Why do providers take risks today? Market share, bingo, that's the biggie. There's something's changing with my income, so I better latch on to a whole bunch of patients that are guaranteed to come to me. Many provider organizations, some of you know this, are taking on risk who are not equipped to handle risk. They're taking on risk for the wrong reason. They're taking on risk and they're not prepared to do well in a risk program. So you're just talking about changing a practice pattern from something that's inefficient and not cost effective to changing it to something that is cost efficient. You just got to figure out what those patterns are. Fee for value, man, is not only is it here to stay, but 1 year from today at this conference, it's going to be like 75% of the people in the room are going to put hands up. It's huge.